Most founders wake up every day haunted, not by their failures, but by the phantom of what they hoped to build, the company they said they'd create, the life they promised themselves. It's not the lack of effort that trips them up. It's the blur between what's real and what's just a dazzling illusion. And it hurts. Deep. It's that gnawing sense that maybe all these sleepless nights, all the risks, the sacrifices, maybe it's just chasing smoke, not building something solid. That feeling of standing in a hall of mirrors, where every reflection promises success but hides the cracks underneath. You know it's brutal. You see other founders flashing their wins, but inside, you wrestle with questions no one dares to ask aloud. Is this real? Am I building something that lasts? Or am I just spinning my wheels in a fantasy? Sometimes it feels like the world applauds the hustle louder than the actual result. Momentum chasing momentum, followers chasing followers, but behind it all, a silent desperation for meaning, for impact, for something more than surface level shine. Because here's the thing nobody talks about. Most of what's celebrated as founding a business is actually building castles made of smoke. Not because the founders don't want it to be real, but because the frameworks we've been given, society's own rulebook, forces you into roles where illusion masks as success. Think about it. It's easier to hype a story, raise a round, grow an audience, than to create actual value that shifts the game permanently. Building a real business is lonely, raw, and unsexy. It's about bleeding in silence, making the impossible mundane, and crushing your own ego daily to serve something far bigger than personal glory. Feel that burn in your chest? That's the truth cutting through the noise. Because the system is rigged to keep you busy with illusions, not breakthroughs. It wants you comfortable with shiny graphs, flashy launches, likes, and short-term validation. Comfortable, not fulfilled. It's a trap, dressed up as freedom. You were promised freedom, but delivered a script. You were promised equality, but handed a crowded room where only a few get heard. You were promised progress, but progress is stolen when comfort wins every round. So how do you break free from this loop? How do you build something real, something that doesn't just mirror the next idea or startup trend, but actually moves mountains? First, stop pretending that the path laid out for you is the only path. Real founders don't ask for maps, they carve their own territories. It's not about following rules, it's about breaking them with purpose. Question everything. What if every assumption you hold about your market, customers, even your own role, is outdated? What if your biggest competitor isn't another startup, but complacency disguised as busy work? Breaking out means asking brutal questions no one else would dare. It means piercing through the comfortable assumptions and stepping into a reality sculpted by your vision, not by the norms that wrap around you like chains. Next, focus on what matters beyond the noise, the edges. Most progress doesn't come from the center or the crowd. It comes from the few, those who refuse to play by the rules, who reject the comfort of consensus and dare to be different, even if that difference isolates them. Being on the edge is painful, yes, but it's fertile ground for true creation. If your dreams aren't pushing you to the uncomfortable edges, are you really pushing at all? Real founders know the edges are lonely but necessary, and that's where magic is born. But here's the secret that flips the switch. You're not meant to make this journey alone. The world isn't built to support exceptional founders like you. It prefers sameness, rules, and the crowd. But within the chaos is a hidden network, rare, powerful, programmable only through deep connection. The founders who are thriving are not those who hustle harder, but those who build powerful alliances with a few who get it. Not followers, not superficial fanfare, but true deep alignment with others who burn as fiercely as you do. This network, the collective of rare individuals, is where misaligned brilliance is transformed, where the misunderstood become the architects of a new future. This isn't about scaling noise, it's about amplifying essence. It's about building a community that's not about membership, but about shared becoming. The system throws you into the wilderness, expecting you to fend for yourself, expecting you to bend or break. But the radical few weave their own reality. They refuse to be caged by geography, politics, or outdated definitions of success. These founders aren't interested in fitting in. They want to build new frameworks that unleash power and creativity. So what does this mean for you? You must dare to be sovereign. Your will is the fiercest weapon you own. The moment you bow to external validation or fit into someone else's mold, you give away that power. You must take it back by questioning everything you thought you knew, including your own story. Be ruthless with your assumptions. Cut away anything that doesn't serve the real you. The founder burning with a mission so big, it can't be tamed by comfort or consensus. Patience is your unlikely ally here. The greatest things don't happen overnight, and eternity favors those who play the long game. Stop chasing quick wins and culturing fake victories as proof of worth. Invest in slow, relentless growth. Dig deep. Fix your foundation before you build the skyscraper. Look for people who match your intensity, your refusal to settle. Align only with those who burn like you do, because when you connect the few, the rare ones, synergy happens. Ideas spark, power multiplies, and suddenly what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. And remember this, true slavery is invisible. It smiles, it comforts, it promises you freedom right before it buries your fire under layers of convenience, conformity, and fear. Don't be fooled by it. Freedom isn't easy. It never is. It asks you to be raw, to be vulnerable, to be willing to stand apart and be misunderstood. But that's where your power lies. This is not about making life easier. It's about making it yours. The world has no ready-made structure for the exceptional. That's why the exceptional create their own. This is your call to build the infrastructure, where the rare find each other, where brilliance aligns, where the misunderstood unite and create without limits or borders. This is how futures get built. Not by crowds or consensus, but by the few who have the courage to stop chasing illusions and start crafting realities. If you feel that burning inside, the silent, unbearable urge to be more than what you've been told you can be, then this is for you. The path ahead won't be easy, but it will be worth it. It will take you beyond borrowed identities, beyond shallow wins, beyond the fake noise of the startup hype machine. It will bring you to a place where your idea is no longer smoke, but fire, a fire that lights the way for others, a fire that won't be extinguished. To build beyond illusions, you must unlearn everything. Tear down your comfortable beliefs about what a founder should do. Step away from the stage where performance is celebrated more than substance. Demolish the illusion that success is a costume you wear for applause. Build instead on grit, on relentless honesty, on aligning yourself with the rare few who see the world differently and refuse to settle. Because the future isn't built by the many who follow, it's built by the few who forge their own path, who refuse to settle, who burn brightly enough to change everything. So it's time to stop asking if what you're building is real or just an illusion. Time to act like it's real, by becoming real first. Real founders don't wait for permission to create. They don't hope the system will change. They become the change. They don't live borrowed lives. They build their own. This is your moment to be the exception, to break the rules, to build the future. Don't just chase the dream. Own it, shape it, unleash it. No more illusions, no more half measures. Only relentless, fearless, fierce becoming. This is where the rare rise. This is where truth lives. And this is where your real journey begins.